Yes, he did. From the 39. Williams reverses field. D. Williams heading to the goal line. Touchdown, Tennessee.
For Tennessee started with a punt down to the 1 yard line and ended with a punt return.
Waited all to third.
Good morning, y'all. Tennessee beat Texas A&M 20-13 in a game that was pivotal for both teams. Both teams had to have this. This was basically an elimination game for both teams if they wanted to get to Atlanta in December. But Tennessee prevailed in large part due to the defense and the special teams that stepped up big time and made big time plays. This is the best defensive line, linebacking core, front seven that Tennessee has had in a very long time, and the secondary is playing very well as well. I've knocked on Kamal Hadden a lot, but he's played extremely well, and the rest of that unit is playing really, really well. But anyway, in the preview for this game, I said it was basically a coin flip game in my opinion, and it was. It was a very, very close game to the very, very last minute of the game. And it was nerve-wracking. I was in Florida and I was in a restaurant, and my wife was about to divorce me the way I was acting, because I knew we had to have this game. And what about the rush offense? I mean, we'll get more into the stats on this, but amazing to put up the numbers that we did on that Texas A&M rush defense. They were top 10 rush defense in the country, and we ran for over 200 yards on them, which I'll get more into the stats in a minute on that. But anyway, very happy with the end result, but there was a lot of negative things too. But at the end of the day, it was a W, and it was a W against a very good team. Texas A&M was not ranked, but that team is very, very talented, and they had to get that win, and we got their best shot, and we still won. But anyway, let's dive into this game. Let's break down the stats. Like I said before, Tennessee won 20-13. Total yards, Texas A&M had 277 total yards. Tennessee had 332 yards. Passing yards, A&M had 223 yards. Tennessee only had 100. It's no secret, Joe Milton did not have a good day. I don't know. Guys, I can't get up here and tell you why he's playing so bad right now. I think a lot of it is the receivers. They're still dropping a lot of balls. Keaton dropped that touchdown catch. He's having a bad year. Just thank God for our rushing, our offensive line, and our running backs. Thank God for them, or we'd be in really, really bad shape. But Joe Milton is just not making accurate throws. He's not making good decisions. He runs out of bounds on that free play. All he had to do was run an extra yard. It's like he has no situational awareness of what he's doing. And then the other play where, it's a fourth down, he has to at least give somebody an opportunity to make a play, or at least run for it. He just runs out of bounds and throws the ball out of bounds. So Joe Milton, bless his heart, I don't know. I just hope he gets better. I keep saying that every week on here, but he keeps not getting better. So I think the coaches just have to basically take the game out of his hands and put it in our running back's hands and do something, because he's not going to win big games, and that's what's got me so worried about this Alabama game coming up. He's just not capable of making big plays and making good decisions. But anyway, let's get back to the stats. Rushing yards, A&M had 54. This was a team that was averaging 145 yards rushing a game. We basically knocked off 100 yards of their average, which is just phenomenal. Tennessee had 232 yards rushing. We averaged before this game 231 yards. We didn't hurt our numbers at all. We actually went one up. So, and to do that against the 8th national run defense, a team that limited Alabama to 23 yards rushing the week before, is amazing. I just can't get over our running backs and our offensive line, the way that the offensive line is able to open up holes, and the way that our running backs run. They run so hard, so violently. Could not be more pleased with their production. Yards per play, A&M averaged 4.5 yards a play. Tennessee averaged 4.7 yards a play. First downs, A&M had 17. Tennessee had 20. Third down efficiency, A&M was 5 for 15. Tennessee was 7 for 15. And again, 5 for 15 on third down. That's pretty darn good, limiting them to that percentage. You go back to the Florida game. Florida was able to keep getting first downs on third down. Tennessee has really done better the last 2 weeks against South Carolina and now A&M and getting them off the field. Fourth down efficiency, A&M was over 2. Tennessee was over 2 as well. But that's the big thing about our defense the past 2 weeks. They're getting teams off the field. They're not converting those third and fourth downs, and they're stalling those drives and getting them off the field. Total plays, A&M had 62, Tennessee had 71. Punts, A&M had 4, Tennessee had 3. Penalties, this was a ugly game. It was awful. It was horribly officiated. There was missed calls on both sides, but there was 3 pass interference calls on A&M that they completely missed. It was just bad officiating all the way around this game, but it was sloppy too. A lot of stupid mistakes. But anyway, penalties. A&M had 90 yards worth of penalties. Tennessee had 115 yards worth of penalties. We've got to clean that up if we're going to win in these big games. The turnovers and the penalties. Turnovers, A&M had 2. They had 2 interceptions. Tennessee had 1. Joe Milton throws the interception in the back of the end zone there. It could have cost us the game. It could have, but the defense, they saved the day. Time of possession, A&M had 30 minutes and 48 seconds. Tennessee had the ball 29 minutes and 12 seconds. So anyway, great victory. Had to have it, and we got it. A&M is a very quality team. I think when the year ends, they'll be the second or third team in the West. But they should have beat Alabama the week before, but they didn't. But anyway, and some things that I just want to touch on again. We ran for 232 yards on the 8th. Their defense was 8th best in the country at stopping the run, and we ran for 232 yards. They were averaging. They were limiting teams to around 84 yards a game rushing, and we ran for 232 yards on them. And that's just phenomenal. Punting, getting them backed up there inside the 5-yard line, and then we were able to return that punt for the touchdown. That was the play of the game. We just special teams, defense played phenomenal. And that defensive line, James Pierce Jr., Tyler Barron, Omari Thomas. I mean, dude, these guys are just playing lights out. Aaron Beasley, guys are just playing big time football. Anyway, I'm very pleased with the end result. Tennessee wins 20-13. Now we've got Alabama coming up next week. We just got to keep the momentum rolling. Find a game plan to somehow get out of Tuscaloosa with a win. But I'll be back in the next couple days to break that game down, talk about that game, how I see that game going. But anyway, in the meantime, go Vols! Big win for Tennessee Vols.